Hello mortals, I'm the Booktube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. And looking for tag videos, I found an original tag by CJ Reads. If you haven't checked out CJ Reads yet, check her out. She has great energy. Anyway, she created this tag. And you know, every month I look at book covers for Shelve It or Shove It to just pick a book based solely on their covers. So what better tag for me to do than the tag?
Question number 1, say it, don't spray it. Cover with the most offensive use of type.
Well, one of my favorite ugly covers is The Boatman's Daughter by Andy Davidson. And this font was so bad. It's this gothic font, but they placed it in a U shape so I could not read the dang thing. They also used what appears to be some sort of weird clip art for the creature. I don't know anything about this book really, except the cover was pretty bad.
Second question we have, she's serving Reese's book club. One of my biggest pet peeves about cover designs is when they are just radiating commercial book cover club energy and you're just looking for that Reading with Jenna, Reese's book club, Oprah Winfrey stamp of approval.
Now, I'm not really sure what this means, but there is a certain type of cover that I am just sick of seeing. But it is a cover with a big fantasy font, and then there's like a sword or a crown or a snake or flowers all around the cover. And I can find so many examples. For instance, Sword of Fire by Catherine Kerr, A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kimmerer, The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, Storm of Fury by Jennifer Armentrout, The Court of Miracles. And it goes on and on and on. I blame Sarah J. Maas for starting this trend. Now, whether this counts as a commercial book club, I have seen booktubers open boxes, book boxes, and these types of books often pop out. And it's not like I hate this style. I actually like a few of them. For instance, All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace, which had sort of a oceanic sea creature theme around it, was kind of pretty, but still it's that same cover. And there are lots more I can name. Let's move on.
Okay, question number 3, which I've titled, Yes Girl, Give Us Nothing. Cover with seemingly no energy put into it.
How about Docile by K.M. Sapera? Anyway, it is this salmon cover with, it looks like clip art with the man's face erased. It's not actually a terrible cover, but how long did it take to create this in Photoshop? 10 minutes? Am I being generous? Another one is The Resistors by Jish Jen, which is basically a fist with, looked like someone put a little paint on the fingernail, so a little Photoshop there. But boy, I don't think much effort was put into this cover. Maybe the little bat and the ball, but honestly. Now there's one I probably shouldn't put on this prompt, but it is The General Zapped an Angel by Howard Fast. And this is just such a weird cover. It looks like a sloppy Photoshop. I actually kind of like the cover. This little head stuck on a smoke column against a sunset background. I have a feeling not that much effort went into creating the cover, but it's still kind of cool. Kinda.
Next up, question number 4, A Face Only a Mother Could Love. A cover that is so hideous, but the book is so good, you can't help but keep it around.
Now I had to think about this one because I don't usually pick bad book covers for Shelve It or Shove It. So I had to think of, okay, what's a book cover that I really didn't like, but I liked the book? And I'm going to pick the Duology by Hank Green. An absolutely remarkable thing and a beautifully foolish endeavor. At least I hope this is going to be a duology. But I have to tell you that I didn't pick up this book because of the cover. The cover I thought was so ugly. This ugly wallpaper background with big funky fonts and matte colors. I don't like this book cover, or both these book covers. They're obviously a set, but I ended up finally picking up the book because I've seen so many people talk about it. Plus, I know the author is also a YouTuber, so I wanted to check him out. And the first book was really good. The second book was okay, but see, the first book pretty much stuck to one character's point of view. In the second book, it jumped around for like 3 or 4 characters. And I don't think the author was very good at writing prose in different voices. They all sort of sounded the same. At least it did to me. Anyway, it's a good duology. And like I said, the first book I thought was very good, but that is in spite of those ugly book covers.
Question number 5, take one thing off before leaving the house. I think that's like an old adage from maybe like Coco Chanel, who was a Nazi, so that's not a good reference. But, you know, like that's a piece of advice if you want to be chic. It's like look in, see if you're accessorizing too much, and take like off a bracelet before you leave the house, okay? So take one thing off before you leave the house, a cover that could use one less element.
Well, I picked one of my favorite books, Cinders and Sparrows, and I do like the cover, but there is just so much going on. I totally missed what it was about because of the cover. It looks like a portal fantasy, this girl standing in a portal leading to a castle, and then there's pumpkins around her, which made me think it was Halloween themed. Take the pumpkins out at least. I still think this is an excellent book, and I do actually like the cover. It's just a little too much.
It's a little bit. A little bit.
I'm also going to honorably mention The Chilling Effect by Valerie Valdez. It's her debut novel. And I picked up this book because the cover was really cool looking. A woman who looked like she was being jettisoned from an airlock, and there's like cats and space helmets and boxes and stuff. And those darn cats really made me pick up the book. But the cats played such a small role in the novel, they probably could have been removed because it was just kind of misleading. I guess that doesn't really fit this prompt. But anyway, moving on.
Question number 6, our final question, which I've labeled Hypebeast, a cover that is clearly going for all of the trends at the same time. My envisioning of how a lot of book design is done, you're briefed in by someone in marketing and they're like, oh, by the way, everyone loves a pastel color, and Gen Z responds to the color yellow, and succulents.
Now, I'm not really sure about this one because I'm not quite sure of what all the trends are, but there is this one trendy young adult type novel that uses realistic photos and has sort of a cutesy title. And I've never actually picked any of these books from Shelve It or Shove It because I don't like them. But for instance, Time of Our Lives by Emily Wilberly. It has a photo of a young adult couple. It looks like every other Netflix show that I've seen come across my Netflix guide. And another one, Heartstrings and Other Breakable Things by Jacqueline Firkin, has another one of those photos of an attractive couple looking all cutesy against a brick wall. And she's barefoot and holding sneakers. It's just... And how about one more? Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Abertelli. Now, it doesn't have a photo of a real couple, but it does have this cutesy cartoon of a couple repeated 9 times down the cover, and each time they're in this little cutesy pose. So I don't know if that's what CJ meant for this prompt, but that's what I'm going with. So let's go ahead and tag some people. I'm going to tag Eric of Break Even Books because he has such a wide selection of books, and I'm sure he has an opinion or two on covers. I'm also going to tag Sarah of Voyage Through Worlds or Voyage Through Words, and she did my meowing about books tag, and I want to know what her book cover situation is all about. And how about Dane Reeds? He's also done my meowing about books tag, and he's shouted me out a few times. So Dane, are you up to this tag? Please like this video, subscribe if you aren't subscribed already, and may all the books you read be blessed.